Hello, my name is Chase. I am a business analytics student here at the University of Iowa, and I'm creating this video just to share with you what I'm learning. Right now, I'm going to talk about machine learning. I know very basic things about machine learning, so I'm not going to be able to answer all of these in-depth questions, but I'm going to explain maybe a general overview of it and just what I know, just to kind of regurgitate what I've been learning, and hopefully I can help you. So basically, machine learning, right? You got these robots. This is a robot. His name is Rick, the robot. And Rick, the robot, learns things, okay? In general, these robots are just like, programs in like Python or R or whatever. Those are like programming languages. So Rick here, he learns a lot and he gets, good grades. So basically how this happens is, the program, the machine has like a big thing of data, right? And it learns correlations, about the data. And we do this every day. So for example, this is me, and I am in the safari, and there is a big animal who is gold and orange and has stripes and big teeth. And what happens? I touch him and he bites me. Ow. Right? That hurts. And so I'm over here, I'm learning. I'm like, okay, that hurt. That is what I learned, right? I learned that touching that animal who was big and orange and had stripes and stuff, he hurt. So that's what I learned. So in the future, I'm not going to touch these big animals because I know that they hurt. So machine learning, essentially kind of do the same thing, but it's just like with data and data sets or databases. And so what, the idea behind it is that they'll be able to put things in categories all by themselves, and this is really helpful. And so something that's within machine learning is called training. Oh, that's really bad. Training the model. So this is the model that learns, the model is the thing learning, and you have to train it first, or I don't know if you always have to, so don't take my word on that, but from what I've learned, you train the model, and your training is what allows the machine to do the learning. So before they can start learning, you train them. So I'm gonna write that out in purple. So train learning. So what training is basically just like a big buff football player, like American football, just like he's training for the big game, right? He's practicing plays. He's going over here, he's going over there, he's running around. He's practicing to beat the other team. So if he trains, just like in real life, if you want to, you want to beat an opponent, right? And you train, you study them, and you figure out what they do, like what moves they do. So if on the football team, you figure out plays, and you figure out what plays does the enemy do, And what you do in order to win, you study that so that you know what they're going to do, right? But if you study it too perfectly, you're going to fail when you play them. And that sounds kind of interesting. That sounds weird, but that is because you train too much. Training too much is like, okay. So to come back to this example, so the other team may have created a different play. They may have created a different play where they're going to go this way. And if you only studied this one, I guess this is a mistake. Anyways, if you only studied this one, and then this one actually happens, then you're not going to be prepared. So, that's kind of like. So what I'm trying to say is, maybe another example would probably be better. You're studying for a test, and your teacher gives you a sample test, like one for practice. And so you got your nice teacher here, professor. He's got a nice tie, and he gives you this practice test. And then you are over here, and you're at a desk, and you're studying this practice test. You're studying this, and you study it 100%. You memorize it. You know exactly how to do these specific problems. But when the test comes, the specific problems aren't there. They're changed up a little bit. They're different. They're not. It's not the same practice test that you've been studying, and so you don't know how to handle the different numbers. You don't know how to handle the different, formats, and you're so confused. And you fail it, and that's because you overtrained. You overtrained yourself on these specific problems, and so when the test came where it was a little bit different, you failed because you memorized everything, but you didn't necessarily get general concepts correct. So so coming back right here to training the model. When you are training it, you can train it too much, and it can be bad. Just like memorizing this practice exam and not doing well on the actual exam because you studied it word for word and you weren't prepared for any adversity. Maybe a great word for training your model would be being able to adapt well. I think I've heard actually that a model should be robust, which means that it's able to handle adversity, things that it wasn't necessarily programmed for. Okay. And so that's basically what I know about machine learning. I apologize that it was kind of all over the place, but let's do a quick review. So we got a robot. Robots learn for machine learning. These are programs written in Python or R or other programming languages, and they learn things. They learn things just like we learn things. So when we learn information, when we gather information, we gather more information, then we ourselves do the same thing, and we learn from that information that we gather. And then once we've got that kind of understood, and once we understand that, we go to training. So this was kind of like a general machine learning, just like we learn. And then we go here, training the model, which is basically, developing the model. And when you're training it, it's basically you're training it to go against a different team, like in football, or you're training it to learn material on an exam, and you can train it too much. And if you train your model, your machine learning model, too much on specific variables, then it's going to fail the test. Let's give it a big fail here. That's, and in order to prevent, that, you have to make your model robust, and it must be able to adapt well to things that were not necessarily programmed by programmers, but it kind of learned by itself. But yeah, so this is what I understand about machine learning. On September 11th, 2018, I'm learning more. This isn't. Hopefully you learned something from this. I'm basically regurgitating what I've learned from this point up to this point to you guys, so that I can teach myself better, and hopefully I can help people along the way. If you noticed anything was wrong, please comment. Let me know. If you'd like to add more, comment. Send me some links that I can learn more. But yeah, I hope somehow I helped you. It's kind of hard to do it when we're not face to face. But if you'd like me to explain it more, you can always message me. Otherwise, have a good one. Talk to you later.